Okay.
You guys ready for this?
No.
What? You effing holiday.
Immediately we are scrap. Being Hawaiʻi is not about being white. It's about
Experience any racism in Hawaii?
You can find an a-hole anywhere, and Hawaii is not immune to that.
We grew here. You flew here.
Immigrant culture.
everybody is different.
What kind of people would have problems when they come here?
I genuinely feel this, that people are smarter here at life. History goes further back here than most transplants would maybe recognize. Aloha and Southern hospitality to me are very similar. Here's a couple of cultural things that you might want to consider, especially coming from LA, that are just not acceptable here.
I don't like being a minority.
Obviously, you're Haole, right?
Spoiler alert, Kenny's not had a traumatic experience thus far.
Just with me.
One local. Well, we did a video called Being Black in Hawaii with Kenji, who is of Black Japanese descent. I enjoy the conversation, but now we're going to do a video being white or being haole, which does not have to have.
Does not need to be a derogatory thing.
Right. So about Kenny's experience, and I feel like we should have done this video already. Like this conversation is had in buyer's consults all the time. But we've never done it for the people on YouTube. So
We've had little snippets here and there, but an intentional conversation is overdue.
yeah, we should have done it.
Yeah. So anyway, how is it?
Spoken the way I would instead of just, how's it? No.
Because how's it isn't an actual question.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Kenny, in a minute or so, tell us who are you, where are you from?
Born and raised in Sacramento, Air Force family. My dad was in the Air Force when I was born. Moved back to South Carolina for a couple of years as a baby, and then my parents separated. We went back to Sacramento, and then I didn't leave until I was 32 when we got married and started moving around with the Army. My wife is just freshly retired a few months ago from the Army. It's what brought us here, but New Orleans, Chicago, LA, and then here. 2 boys, 7 and 5, one born in Chicago, one born in LA. And yeah, it's been a fun journey to get here.
His kids got white names.
Yeah, Connor and Dylan.
Connor and Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys were stationed here at the time, who knows?
Yes.
Kai.
Yeah.
Kai. So I have a question. When you came over for this Christina's last tour, like where on the hierarchy of the list of places you guys wanted to go was Hawaii? Was it on the top?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. We were dealt a hand that we didn't have much of a choice in, and like I'll take that hand at every poker table.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be going to DC, and then somebody in that position in DC either got in trouble or had to retire like right away, just had to step out. And so the person that was here was the only other qualified person for her position in the Army nurse small niche. So that person was like,
We're trying not to hit it.
yep, got to go here.
So the Hawaii
And we ended
person
up-
went to DC
yeah,
where she was supposed to
and-
go.
Yeah. So then we came here to fill that slot.
Interesting.
And inside of 6 months,
So was it like we're going to Hawaii, we have to process this? Or was it like sure.
yeah, it was like, I think we listed the house a week later in LA.
And you're like,
And
let's
we
go
were
to
just like,
Hawaii.
because we got family, we can go down to San Diego, we can go back up to Sacramento. Like it was all excitement, understanding a risk, but
Yeah.
we didn't process for very long
Yeah.
at all. It was like, I mean, please let me know.
Yeah.
If you have a choice of DC or Oahu.
But some people, though, I mean, don't want to come here.
Okay.
Some military people are like, no, it's far to see people.
Yeah.
I don't care about the beach.
Yeah.
I don't like being a minority.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle, I think Hawaii
That's
was
fair.
like 3rd on his list when he got sent here. And now he's like, I want to die there. Like, it's just
Your husband?
My husband. Yeah.
Who's
Because he's
Should
like
be here as a part
very
of this
white.
question.
very, very white. But he has no like ties here. He had no ties here prior. He didn't know anybody here. Like people from his flight school, like weren't even over here. Like he had like no reason to like ever want to be here.
just
So-
wasn't even a concept.
No, it wasn't even a thing. So he listed other places that were closer to home, closer to family, closer to brother, whatever, places he knew. And he just got this.
Yeah.
I grew up on the mainland from 0 to 12 years old. Started visiting Hawaii the summer between 5th and 6th grade, and then 6th and 7th stayed. I went back to Florida I left like a day or two after school finished, and then I got back to Florida a day or two before school started. So the whole summer, and then between 7th and 8th, I came day or two after school, Paul in 7th grade, and then I called my mom and was like, hey, I'm not coming back. And so we were talking about like, are you local? Is it that same conversation we had earlier, Kenji? Like, is it debatable if you're local? It's fine to even debate if I'm local, you know? Like, so, because I only started 8th grade, and yeah, I came summers before. My dad was a Waikiki Beach boy, is a townie Hawaiian, but my mom is like deep South, redneck family. I mean, we really, really like that. And so, you know, I have a diverse experience. So I kind of see your experience moving here, but I didn't have to experience the outsiderness for as long because within like 6 months, you know, I kind of blended. And then by the time we went to Campbell, people, there's just the concept that, oh, remember Derek came from mainland in 8th grade. It wasn't even like a thing.
Yeah.
But in my head, I could still go there and be like, right, you guys don't know that my uncle shoots guns at cans in the backyard and dips and 4-wheelers on dirt roads. And so I have a unique experience, both a very local experience and then I had my mainland first 12 years.
A big difference. Your dad lived here.
My dad, born and raised Hawaii boy, lives on
So
Oahu,
you had a
Kauai.
direct connection and you linked immediately to that.
Yeah.
Spent the summers, but then when you made the decision, I'm not going home.
I think I kind of had like a choice to be local if I wanted to, you know?
Yeah.
I could have like hung out with all the military kids and stayed like that. But if I want, like I was going to surf every day and I was going to like learn everything about my Hawaiian roots and dance hula for like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say
2 weeks hula.
you get like when neurodivergence about that kind of stuff. Like when you decide you want to do something, you're gonna like do it all the way.
Yeah.
No, I was super immersed and then, you know, my dad is my dad and now we here and now we went bodyboarding, we went fishing and cruising my uncle guys on Haula and I had a choice to like lean into this and
You went to a local immersion school.
you can debate them. You can say, oh, nah, like some guys would be like, brah, we grew here, you flew here. Okay. Accept it, whatever. It makes me great at what I do. So now at this age, I can accept it all. Mahe,
I'm born and raised here. Nobody has ever called me a haole. Actually, I lied. One person did. On
was it
Maui.
me?
No, not you. But you know, I mean, like I look like what people expect local people to look like. I come from a very local family. Like most of my family doesn't speak proper English. They're all pidgin everything.
that's what you don't speak pidgin most of the time.
Most of the time, I speak proper English.
And actually, even when you do it, it's more similar to how like I do it. Like it turns on, but it's not your default.
It's not my default. My mom was very strict about that in the home. Like she's local Japanese. Like her mom was from Japan. My grandpa met my grandma in Japan as a translator in the military.
Wait, say that one again.
My grandpa from Hawaii, Japanese or
The
Okinawan.
Amway one.
Yeah, the Amway Papa.
Yeah.
He went to Japan as an English translator in the military. And that's when he met my grandma, who is from Japan, Japanese, moved her over and then had my mom and her 2 sisters. So my mom is like kind of first and second generation Japanese. So very, very local, but like my dad just like full on local pidgin, everything.
Uncle Larry.
Uncle, UNKO, like that kind.
Uncle.
Yeah, he used to wear this tank top that had just like a mustache on it and it said Fada.
Yeah.
Like FADDAH. Like that's my dad in a nutshell.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But like my mom didn't let us speak pidgin in the house because she was like, you can talk however you want. Like when you are with your friends and with your cousins, whatever. Like she spoke pidgin. She was like me to where she would turn it on and off. But she also like went back to school to like be a medical transcriptionist and like, you know, just like she was like, no, you're going to, I think because of where we were and where we lived and where we came from, it was very important to her for us to not end up there. Well, I mean, like my mom already like had kids when she was like 17 turning 18 and like,
mine too.
you know, all of that. And way later in life went back to school and realized like, hey, if you want to do anything with your life, like you got to learn how to like code switch and be able to turn it on and turn it off and not just be like one trick pony. Like you got to broaden your horizons.
Turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah.
My dad used to say that too.
There's a time and a place, you know, like to mock out and like just, you know, be a tira. not even because like pigeon is stupid or anything like that. It's just like not everybody knows it. Like if you go into an interview someplace and
you want to instill confidence. Someone's going to come to build, your house or do your medical procedure. We have the English language as the foundation that can branch off to, Ebonics or Spanglish or Pidgin. But you go back to in between the lines when you want to instill confidence for a professional setting. Nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cajun,
But so-
New York.
New
Yeah.
York, yeah, Cajun, New York.
There's accents everywhere, and Pidgin, I think, is a couple of steps further than just an accent.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of very specific words that if you get that wrong in context, you are in trouble.
Well, it got labeled
Right.
as a language, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Now it's a
technically
language.
It is.
bilingual if you
Yeah.
Yeah.
speak good Pidgin. Like, or good Pidgin? Is that like...
That's not like an oxymoron, yeah?
yeah, it is, yeah.
Good pigeon. If you know how to speak
Yeah.
pigeon.
But anyway,
yeah.
so Kenny, you're saying you born SAC, military, Chicago, LA.
Yep.
Mahi was asking, how'd you feel when you got stationed there? So picking up from there, when you got stationed here, you actually started watching our channel.
I was watching your channel in LA, and I wanted to be able to reach out to you, but my wife had already gotten in touch with
A different
a
agent.
real estate agent through a military wives Facebook page.
Yeah.
So,
And then was Mahi on the channel yet at that time?
no, bro.
Yeah, that was like the
I-
beginning, yeah?
I go back far enough on the channel to where it's just you and a dashboard cam.
Yeah.
I might even be like semi pre-Kenji.
Oh, no, there's no pre-Kenji.
There's no pre-Kenji. Okay.
Yeah, there's no pre-Kenji.
I wasn't sure. Definitely production-wise,
Dash
it's
cam
grown
days.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a video of where you're giving us a perfect separation of Eva.
Oh, yeah,
That was kind of one of my originals because I felt like that was probably where we were going to end up, and it is where we ended up.
Right. Well, and so
yeah.
how was it watching the videos on this channel and what we were trying to explain and represent versus how you've been here for going on 5 years? How is it what you expected? How is it different?
Accurate. The channel was more informative than anything I could find on Google or Zillow or Realtor.com. It actually, I was already taking my California testing, or I wanted to test, but I was doing all the studies to be a California real estate agent.
Yeah.
So I started watching it more from an studious point of like, maybe do I want to try to be a realtor in Hawaii?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you
in the
this: then.
midst
How
of
is
it,
it
but-
different from LA or Chicago or New Orleans or Sacramento?
Wow.
Where is it the same? Where is it similar and where is it different from those?
Similar to New Orleans, and as vastly different as you could imagine, LA and Chicago. Even when I'm in town,
Here, so the
here,
city
Town
of
as in
Honolulu.
like-
if I'm in
downtown.
Honolulu, Waikiki,
Yeah.
if I'm in town, it's so much more mellow and relaxed and hospitable than Sacramento, LA, or Chicago. New Orleans has a southern hospitality vibe to it that has literally hundreds of years more culture and history to it. And I
Deep
think that,
culture.
like,
New Orleans
very, very deep.
Cajun culture
Yes.
is deep and
Yes.
they are proud.
Yes.
We always talk about how Texas is like the other place where they're proud of. Do you know anything about New Orleans and that whole?
A little bit.
But
Yeah.
they are like, my sister got tattoos
Yes.
of like
Yeah.
New Orleans stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans people are proud. Like when
Yeah.
they play, when LSU plays Alabama or Texas
Yeah.
at the whatever that
Death Valley, LSU.
the earthquakes register, and they play the Garth Brooks Louisiana song. What is it?
Ooh, you're gonna get me.
Operator, won't you put me
Yeah.
on the line? That song,
Yeah.
and then they play the other,
It's because LSU's in Baton Rouge. It's
Baton Rouge,
the
yeah.
Take Me On Home to Baton Rouge.
and
Yeah.
everyone's yelling. And then
Yeah.
there's the Louisiana Saturday Night is the other
Yes.
song they play. I've never been. I actually have a goal to go with my sister and watch one
Yeah.
of these games,
Yeah.
but it's their stadium holds more than some of the like professional
Yeah, it's
football.
100,000.
I think most of the professional football stadiums.
Yeah, it's
And so-
100,000.
100,000.
It's 100,000.
That's
The
crazy.
pride that people have in that area? I could see. I was wondering if you were going to say they were similar.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, right?
Yep.
Before I came to Hawaii, and it's near Louisiana enough that you get some of it, and then people go over there for vacation.
Yep.
They're similar in that they're both super cultured and proud, but they're not the same thing. Like if I took my wife, she'd be like, "Hey, nothing. Like there are no similarities here."
Yeah, I think.
What are you getting at?
The similarity in New Orleans to Oahu,
Yeah.
Hawaii, and it's the history and the culture. I think history goes further back here than most transplants would maybe recognize. And immersing into it and understanding it, having humility to it, and wanting to learn about it is something that I've done at every station, right? That's just part of me being who I am and being respectful and wanting to know what my surroundings are. Not just
about that,
love your neighbor, but also like know your environment and be able to have a good conversation with somebody no matter where you're at, the grocery store, the car wash, or in a professional setting of any kind.
Right.
And so but the culture and the history to me are the two things that link. Like and we've talked about this a little bit before. Aloha and Southern hospitality to me are very similar.
Yeah. There's nuance differences.
Sarcastic cracks at each other is very, very normal. There are some differences.
And you feel good walking away from both of them.
I think they come from the same genuine spot in the heart. They're just acted out a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like
something that was brought to my attention that wasn't top of mind recently is that in the Hawaiian language, there's no negative words. Like there's no like, you idiot or I don't like. They don't even have those words, right?
Similar culturally to, we talked about this like on the first video that we did together at the shack, and how local culture and probably this culture too, similarity being that it may be like a tough shell to break through, but once you're in, you're in. It may be a little bit harder to get in than other places because of how deeply rooted the culture is and how like the level of familiarity, people who are from that space, whether that's here or Louisiana or something very unique, that level of familiarity that they have with each other if they have that common experience coming up. So it's difficult for a transplant or an outsider. It can be more difficult there as opposed to a place more, metropolitan where there's a ton of different types of people all the time, like a New York or something,
I was just thinking New York.
Yeah, where it's so different, face to face, thing to thing, language to language, that it can be easier to just be different there. Whereas here, coming in, it can be harder to be different and to have that different experience on the come up. And so it's not an immediate like level of like bring you in, but probably similar to like a Louisiana, like that type of culture.
I would agree to that 100%.
When you
and
break
I would say,
in, it's like, that's Kenny is ours.
It's did I hear you say like it was Hawaii or in Louisiana, it's very identifiable and unique. Whereas if it's like New York, I know we're not New Yorkers. Maybe you know better, but is it harder to identify what that thing is because it is so many things?
I think different is automatically acceptable in those major metropolises like New York, Chicago, LA, even Sacramento. Everybody is different, and it's surface different. I'm not trying to say that Sac is a major metro, but it's grown enough. It's grown enough to where sure San Francisco bleeds into Sacramento. At this point. So
I got you. Yeah.
I'm only including it because I'm a homer. But really and truly, every time I go back to Sacramento, it's just more melting pot. So being like New York, Chicago, LA, we'll just leave Sacramento to the side. The population, the people from everywhere all over the world is immediate acceptance. There's no shell. I guess that's probably the easiest way for me to say it.
Hold strong to we are this New York thing without like outside influence. They have to adopt it.
Yeah.
There's no other choice.
Especially someplace like New
Adopting's
York,
a good
where
word, and defense, there's none.
Someplace like New York, like part of their culture is immigrant culture. It's where all the immigrants funneled through. So that is
but us too. But
but like different though.
It's different,
It's different. Yeah.
The reason why you might link an Austin to a Hawaii or to like a Texas or Louisiana is the end result, or it at its best outwardly is very hospitable.
Yeah. That is the link.
Right. Whereas New York is very diverse, so is Hawaii kind of. Like we could on paper maybe draw some similarities, but you don't feel because at its end result, New York is like a hospitable place.
Oh,
is that the thing that makes? Is that like one of the chain links that makes potentially Louisiana and Hawaii make like that where that comes from? Is that there's this hospitality? What's the word?
Hospitality. Hospitableness.
Hospitableness.
Yes. There we go.
Is that it?
I think it is.
Yeah, and just like the general like politeness and like respect. Like I was just talking to my girlfriend Rachel from Maui.
Yeah.
She's like a transplant from
One of your
Seattle.
5 best friends.
One of my many best friends. But we were talking about like how like we're tripping out about how like easily like Kyle fits into like my life and with my family and with the kids. And I'm like, oh, I think it's because he's like country folk.
Yeah.
You know, he's like rodeo folk, ranch folk. They're, you know, there's like a level of like opening doors and being polite and like, you know, letting
mama energy.
Yeah, there's just like an energy of like taking care of the kids first and taking care of the elderly first and like making sure those things are good and even if you don't like a person, having like a general level of respect in your interaction but like local people, but when pushed, can pop off.
Yeah.
You know, like
yes, ma'am, and yes, auntie aren't too far departed from one another.
Absolutely. Upbringing and just perspective, I think, are the two things that made me have less aversion to anything, or the immersion here has been pretty solid. One, I think it's proximity to great people that I got to know early on, and whether that was through Christina's work and meeting some of the people there that have gone through that same transition and they're 2 or 3 years in, and so help us out, like places to check out, places to avoid. I mean, and in the beginning, I think that's an honest thing to consider, and then it's like kind of want to go see what that place that I'm supposed to avoid, like why, there aren't any for me anymore. And so
you go why you don't feel any type of way?
No, I really don't.
I think because it really depends on like your mindset and the place you're coming from. And Kenny is just like a respectful dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously you're haole, right? Like it's not like it's not like you're ambiguously haole like Derek, who came over and like you can't tell.
Was that a slight?
No. What's wrong with that?
Slightly backhanded
but you
compliment.
are like, I'm talking about when you first moved here, like you were ambiguously haole. Like you can look at you and be like, nah, you loco, yeah. And then you talk when you first got here, like, oh wait,
Jolani,
you're not.
I've said it probably 5 times, 6 times on the channel. Jolani, Bobette, she became my good friend.
First and last name, you guys.
she became my good friend, but she was this Eva Beach super local girl, and she's like, "Right, you look like us, but you're not like us. You holiday." She was in 8th grade.
Okay, yeah.
But then it would be, I forgot you're from mainland.
So point being that Kenny doesn't have that, but there is something very like disarming about Kenny's energy.
Yeah.
When you meet him, that it like I can see why you didn't really have a hard time and why your experience may be different from other people's because you like there's a disarming like aspect of you that I'm like, oh, he's just
Have you had any? Like Kenny's not like walking, got an alpha up the room.
He's not like an aggressive guy. Like he's just you just can tell that you're like a nice dude.
But have you had any have you experienced any racism in Hawaii?
I've gotten a few looks in a few certain areas of just like I'm the one that's maybe not just they don't know who I am, right? And I don't know whether I should say exactly where those spots are, but I've had a few, but it's just a look and then it's shaka, a hello.
So you never had a what? Like, you effing holiday.
Yeah, I've not.
Put on your
I've not had
next time.
Yeah, no, and I've never. But again, I think it's in processing with Christina, and then connecting with you guys fairly early, and some other good people, some good neighbors that are just like, hey, put your blinker on, let people in. Like some of the
beep your
simple,
horn at people. Yeah.
courteous, like fair warnings. Like here's a couple of cultural things that you might want to consider, especially coming from LA, that are just not acceptable here. It's like immediately we're going to scrap.
When I first moved back from the Bay Area, I would be driving 70, 75.
Oh, that's crazy.
And Michelle would be like, slow down.
Yeah.
I remember specifically one time, I think it was probably leaving the like Aiea area.
And that like would be slow, right? Where you guys were coming from.
You're not in the right lane driving 75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the left
lane.
You're not
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
in the left lane.
Yeah.
You got to be going probably 85, 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Bay Area, if you can get up to that fast, you better be going that fast, because
definitely.
otherwise you're doing 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And just crazy bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah.
I've not had a transplant experience of like, bro, what you doing here?
I never
You're
asked
not
you that
allowed. You're not.
specifically, but
you're
wouldn't
not
you
supposed
think
to be.
he would have?
Yeah, I just would, because I feel like, and we talk about this before, you can find an a-hole anywhere, and Hawaii is not immune to that.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of people who have experiences like that, even though I'm like, oh, she's like the nicest, whatever. But, you know, you can catch those strays like wherever you go, you know what I mean? And I'm just surprised that you haven't. Like, it makes me feel nice and good and like, oh, wow, that's cool. Because I feel like probably, I'm like, leave us a comment. Like, if you are a transplant, like, how have you had that type of like negative interaction with people since you've moved here? And how quickly did you experience that? Is it mellowing out? Yeah, it's like being white in Hawaii, but it's being Kenny in Hawaii, which is a different thing, you know? Like, everybody's experience is going to be different.
Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't experienced it at me against me,
seen?
but I've seen for sure. And it's
Like firsthand or like Instagram?
No, like in a restaurant or at the beach or in and around where my kids go to school. For me,
your
like,
kids just going to the...
I mean, again, we've had that conversation. I was like, you were like,
his
really?
kids
Your kids are going there?
Start throwing up signs.
Oh, but Dylan had one.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt in his hair.
Yeah.
In no time, right? I was like, oh, that's one banger.
Yeah.
That's one
Both of them.
banger.
Both of
That's
them.
one Ever Beach Boy.
Our number one concern obviously was like, how are the kids going to do when we move here?
Yeah.
It was less about us. Like, we'll figure it out because we've been all over the country.
Yeah.
But how are the boys going to do? And it was like within a week of going to where they went to daycare at the time that we were here.
Oh, the daycare too was in the...
daycare is in the cuts.
Yeah. Well, I want to
You know his daycare was?
Yes. Yes.
That's the furthest west gentleman's club right around there.
But
And no more gentlemen inside.
no. Not a single gentleman.
Not a single gentleman.
But I do want to, like, let's just keep it real. Let's be transparent about it. Like, your kids didn't really have a hard time because they're like babies when they came over, right?
Yeah.
So their
they were
experience
3 and
coming
1.
over would be very different from
high school kid
like a
going.
high school kid coming,
Yeah.
you know, or like going to a school where you're the only new kid. Like, it's not a year where there's a bunch of new kids all the time and you're not from here and you don't have any friends. Like,
Yep.
for timing wise for your family, I think you guys came at a great time for your boys to be able to just really kind of be immersed and learn, because they're such sponges at that age. But I'm sure it can be very hard for some kids to come. It's hard to it was hard for my kids to move from Maui to Oahu at their ages.
I used to see it because when we went Campbell, I don't know if Kenji's seen it, but when we went Campbell, Barbers Point Naval Base was still a thing. And so you had these certain group of military kids, and they came for high school and they were different. You know, like I remember like the hot topic thing is kind of more common now, even with local kids.
Now that's like everybody do that kind
But I
of.
remember they were like, there would be like these hot topic kind of kids who would wear like girls wear black lipstick or some have a hard time.
Where I've seen some of the experience that maybe we're trying to unravel in being a haole, being a transplant, is at the age that my boys are now. There's a few families that we've come to know, and they're good kids, but they have attitudes, and they haven't been where we've been. They haven't moved around the country. Maybe there's some stuff going on with mom and dad where it's not like being haole is not about being white. It's about having some kind of an attitude. And
when
there
people
are
spin it in a negative way, you mean?
Right.
Yeah. Thank you
There
for
are,
clarifying.
yes,
Yeah.
please. Thank you. If there's angst or anger or just any type of distension, that the attitude of why are you treating me like that, and then there be a return is where I think it becomes an issue. And there are some kids that are 7, 9, 11 that have had trouble in their first year here, and the parents are part of it.
So
Point being, kids are sponges, and
Right.
your kids
Right.
came at a good
Good, bad,
time
or
to like
indifferent.
learn the nuances of all the things that are gonna like make it easier for them to be here. You know,
It just really is important to have humility, respect, and a general understanding of where you're standing.
Yeah.
And who's listening, who's watching. We were lucky, for sure, blessed to have them there as young as they were and let them grow into how they communicate with other people. And it's, for us, it's been a good ride. Like, we knew we were going to retire and stay here within the first 6 months.
that was gonna be my other question, because you didn't even plan to come here, and now you're like, we're here.
Yeah,
know,
like
yeah.
you were saying
Staying.
that you were saying Kyle was like, I put Hawaii at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, it is normal when you know that your orders are coming up, that you'll work with a career manager that says, give us your top 3 choices.
Yeah. Usually you try to get top 3, or they try to get you somewhere top
one
3.
of the top, right.
If you gave 3 reasonable.
If you
Yeah.
if you ask enough soldiers, I think you'll find that they'll put their first choice last. Just because of how the system works, right? Like,
Interesting.
if you put first choice, they usually, anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
But like, we didn't really have that. It was hey, we need you.
Yeah.
And then the first conversation was, we need you in DC in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it was, oh, wait a minute, something happened
Pivot.
in DC.
Yeah.
Can you be in Hawaii in the next 3 months?
How about the all the way on the other side?
As far apart as you
Yeah.
can be, right? And so it was pure excitement.
Yeah.
Going back to like
When you guys got the first initial like, hey, Hawaii, were you guys like scared at all to come over here, or was it?
With no apprehensions? No?
You had family that lived here. You came and visited every summer. You were born and raised. You mentioned something about like having no catch net, like no ties, no reason for being here, nobody you knew. That was all on the table. Like, I'd actually never been to Oahu.
Yeah.
We honeymooned in Maui.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
But that was my
Such
only.
a California. When I lived in
100%.
California, they'd be like, oh, you're from Hawaii? We love Maui.
Yeah, we honeymooned on Maui.
Yeah, or
Princeville.
Princeville.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love
Princeville,
Like,
Princeville, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Got a
aside from
timeshare in
that,
Kaanapali.
no real,
no
like,
ties,
yeah.
no understanding of, like, my first time on Oahu was house hunting.
Yeah, crazy.
Put an
That's so
offer in.
crazy to
Like,
me.
I'm a quintessential core team client. Just happened to not be a core team client. As soon as we found out, my first go was YouTube moving to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Not knowing what, like, I just wanted to know what it was going to be entailed with moving to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Christina got all the stuff from the military on that checklist, and I started doing what are we going to do with the kids?
Yeah.
So
when you guys
all that.
first came over, was your initial plan to just be here for a few years? But within 6 months, you guys were like, no, this is it. We're going to stay.
It was a 3-year plan, and most likely go back to Sacramento.
That's interesting, because it's not like you had started earning. Like, since you've done better since you've been with our team. But it's not like, oh, Kenny has this job or this anchor here. You were making that decision without that.
Yeah. She said she wanted to retire here before I actually had my real estate license. So I was.
What was it about Hawaii?
shopping.
What was it about
Why?
being here that made you guys come to that as quickly as you did, really?
Just rewind to the beginning of the tape and hit play. Like, it's just the culture, the aloha, the vibe, the slowed down pace. And I've been saying this recently, like, the thing that allows us to be who we are and really work hard, go hard is because, like, I don't need to stretch out for a vacation. Like, I can go an extra hour or two and then just go to the beach for a half hour.
Yeah.
And where else are you going to be able to find that? I mean, there's other places, but
Right.
never anywhere like that have we been before. New Orleans has a little bit of a lasso around our heart. We're going back in March again. It's the only place that we continue to go back to, other than family. Obviously, in California, we go visit family. But as far as places we've been outside of family ties, New Orleans is it. They're coming here and they're going to do an island hop. None of them have ever been to Hawaii.
Yeah.
That'll probably be late next year. But that's it. It's like once we saw that the boys were growing and thriving, not having any issues, friends that are local, friends that are also transplants, friends of different ages, friends from the soccer team, friends from summer camp, friends from school now.
Yeah.
Well, so fair to say, despite your kids going to on local school and on local preschool and having experiences that many people from the mainland or military PCSers would fear, actually. And I'll say that because my wife wouldn't. If I was like, when we were house shopping, we looked in that school district and my wife was like, nah, no.
Yeah.
And your kids actually go there. So even local people might fear, and you've had these experiences. And now with the choice, you could choose to go.
I could
live in Sac, nicer house. You could choose to raise your kids in Sac with more homogeneity and just
we did pick up
less diversity.
Yep.
Right.
We could.
And for where they're not the minority, you could choose that for them.
Yep. I could.
What a lot of people are there, if they're watching this video, to actually be informed rather than entertained, and they're like, is it gonna be okay? Or like, if I got orders to Hawaii, I'm gonna be stationed at Pearl Harbor, I'm so afraid. You're choosing to keep your young kids in that environment. Vice, one of Chicago, New Orleans, New York, or anywhere on the mainland, but Sac. Where would you guys go if you weren't here? Sac?
Man, it's just such a grounded and long-term decision. I'd have to think about it.
Even know.
I mean, the obvious answer would be back to the Bay Area because that's where her parents are, or down to San Diego where the siblings are. Maybe New Orleans, but I have the equal fear that people that catch orders coming here or that are wondering, but they're worried about schools and education and immersion into the culture. Like New Orleans is that for me. I fear what they would come across there way more now.
So do you worry more about your kids' emotional well-being in one of these mainland towns?
I do.
Than you do here?
I do.
So
it's
your
actually a
two
great question.
holiday kids, Connor and Dylan, like you're more worried about their emotional well-being in Sac than in Hawaii.
I am.
In Eva Beach.
That's a great question. And hopefully I don't take anybody off. I think this is going to go well. But I'm just going to say it. Hawaii is behind the times in a very good way.
Yeah,
There's a slowdown about it that's like, hey, we're still going to do it the old-fashioned way. And so there's less question about, and this is in my own tunnel vision of sorts, there's less about who you are, where you come from, and there's less clickiness. There's less
like
separation.
Maybe you mean like less social hierarchy as far as like
everybody,
if you have money or you don't have money, or what school you went to versus whatever.
I think there is definitely there's that here, but it's
at the high school level,
right?
It's at
the university level.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing that's super duper relevant to the links that connect New Orleans. If you ask somebody here where you grad, they're going to give you the high school, not the college. The high
they
school.
Do that in New Orleans?
In New Orleans, 100%.
Oh, probably. Ask my sister about
probably
that.
More hard and heavy with respect or disrespect to which high school you went to.
You know why? Because like
than here.
Where else would you go besides LSU, right? So
Tulane, UNO. But yes,
you know what too? Maybe the expectation that you would have even went to college is not there.
Yeah.
Whereas here too, like
that's the hard, realistic answer. I think that if somebody asked you, what your educational background is or where you grad. If you were going to say UH, that would be the proud moment for you.
Yeah.
I think that the answer comes from the lack of those that go to college. And I think there's a similarity to high school graduation being
A big deal.
an accolade, being a pretty high mark for cultures. And I don't mean to say that in any kind of a bad way for Hawaiians nor for people in the South. I think it tends to just be somewhat true. And there's working class, there's great opportunities here for tradesmen and plenty of hardworking, hustling folks that just have a high school degree, and there's nothing to not be proud about.
Me, I don't have a college degree.
Right.
And your dad don't point that out anymore.
And he doesn't, but he did.
Yeah.
Before I was like,
Right.
"Bro, neither do you, my dog." Like, no act. But yeah, it's I don't have the data, but like our family, our grandpa was like, "Oh, if you go to college, I'll buy you a car," because like he just knew he wasn't gonna have to buy us all cars. Like that just it's depending on like where you're from and all of that. It's not a departure to say that it's not like the most common for everybody to just go to college.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be like the most common thing. But I think the other side of that coin too is it's just kind of how we're from a small island community, and it's kind of just like how we identify with each other. Like regardless of demographics, as far as like whether or not we do or do not go to college, it's like, oh, we know who our people are, or we know like where your family is from, or like the question, where did you go to school? Like the levels, the tiers of information that you can gather just from that one question is pretty big here.
You're gonna make connections.
Yeah, there's just so many different things that you can like discern just from that one question here.
I enjoy like prejudice and assumptions, and like I enjoy the conversation around those things. You know? So when you went to this high school, you went to that high school, I love it.
Yeah.
And I went to a high school and I'm achieving things that shatter the paradigm, and so even more like
Well, I think probably one of the things that makes us the most comfortable here and keeps us here is, even though maybe in a slightly prejudice or assumptive way, high school is the highest you can go here. I mean, maybe you get one chance to go because you're in sports or whatever. People are I genuinely feel this, that people are smarter here at life. There's just more experience that have had here than you would find in Sacramento or LA. You're just kind of in the system if you're in a mainland big city.
Let's unpack that a
Oahu
little bit.
is big city for Hawaii, but there's, I mean, you're going to learn how to swim. You're going to learn how to, probably do some yard work or swing one hammer, or like you're going to be able to learn life. You're going to, you're going to immerse
fish, Taiwan knot,
everything until a certain age or a certain point in life where mom and dad maybe go, this one's not going to college, right? It's just not even, it's not even something that's considered. And here it's automatic that you learn how to use your hands, how to work with people, how to be outside, things to do outside, recreational and ultimately long-term professional.
You said the word system earlier, and I was trying to like think of how we value more than just what the system tells us to. Yeah,
it's fair.
I think in Hawaii in general, there's just more weight given to the unspoken many things, whether that be the social expectations, whether that be familial ties, like there's
social expectations. So unpack that one. What do you mean?
Like there's just more weight given to things here, whether or not they're said. For instance, when a local person imagines their dream home, a lot of the times it includes an ADU for their parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there is it's not like we have to do it, but it's just like this unspoken thing where we want to take care of our kupuna. So it changes the way we prioritize things. It changes the weight that
priorities.
Yeah, it
It's a good
changes
word.
the way we do things. It changes sometimes the ways we dream. It changes where we go. It changes a lot of things. And
Priorities is a good word.
Yeah.
it's just a different, like we prioritize different things here that we don't need to always say like, hey, you got to take care, like, hey, it's in my will that you're going to take care of me when, if you like inherit this house, you better make sure you take care of me. Like that's not a written thing that we have to like agree
It's a social
to.
contract.
It's just like a thing that like we're kind of like born into and just do.
And those things are at odds with each other. So you said earlier you were saying something that made me think of, like when you're asking, what do you do? Like, what do you do might be the first thing someone asks. What do you do for work, right? What university did you go to? Pepperdine and Duke and, Columbia and all this stuff. Because all these 29-year-olds or 34-year-olds are getting together in Steamboat Springs and Colorado for Thanksgiving, or just something that isn't even in the thought process of most local people, unless you went Puno or Iolani or something. I remember when in California, my friend, a really good surfer, Job, he's like, bro, my wife's friend, so she was in tech and she's from Japan, and so very focused on education and accomplishment and not in the same American kind of way, but in that kind of way. And she's like, all my wife's friends, the first thing they ask is, what do I do and what college I went to? And I have to tell them, I don't really do anything. I have to tell them I'm working on being a nurse still.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to college. And then they're like, oh. And he's like, why don't they? He asked me, because he knew that, again, I'm kind of both worlds. I have the degree and I'm working at Stanford, but I also like go surf with him and just be Hawaiian with him. And he's like, he asked me in a question form. He's like, why don't they ask me what I like to do?
Yeah.
He's like, they never ask me what I like to do.
Yeah.
Because then I could tell them that I surf and I'm really good at surfing. So he's like, the thing I'm best at and the thing I love the most, they didn't even care about. And he was just like, it was interesting for him. Yeah.
That's your way of kind of describing the system, sort of.
So yeah, like they were like, so back to that. Thank you for bringing it. So they were like, in the system, okay, you go to school, get good grades, you get tutoring, you achieve at lacrosse and water polo, and you do all these things and climb the social hierarchy, and you got to make sure you take at least French or something, because you need 2 years of that to get into Pepperdine. And then you go up and get the degree, and now you can afford Thanksgiving with your friends and Vail. And so now we're at Vail talking about things. What do you have to talk about? Your life's experience.
Right.
And what you've prioritized up until this point. More of the classic system. Whereas in Hawaii, those things are at odds with each other. I think about that because I lost my dad recently, right? I didn't take care of him. If he lived in Hawaii, well, it would have been different. But for a decade, I've been like, or more, I've been, how do I achieve? How do I achieve? How do I achieve? And we've talked about this, but that's at odds with, hey, we'll go surf and we'll go enjoy life and we'll go barbecue. And I have you said earlier, I have a hard time not just being all of one thing. And so when I was in those, how do I grow in business and achieve? I wasn't enjoying surfing. I wasn't enjoying things. And whereas in Hawaii, the priority isn't go to Pepperdine so I can go to Vail and talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of words to get there.
Yeah. But it makes, I think it makes perfect sense because it prioritizes Hawaii, the community, the society here, in my opinion, being the transplant coming in and just giving you an outside perspective, is the priority is the experience. Just slightly over education. Obviously, we want all of our kids to grow up with a good education and have opportunities. That you spoke to that about how I think that's what your mom wanted to instill was like no pigeon in the house.
Yeah.
That's outside. You're going to get that experience. But here, I want you to be able to speak properly because the next phase of life as you go out of this house is probably going to require that at some level, right? The experience of whether it's surfing, paddling, fishing, the things that are maybe not exclusive to Hawaii, but are very attainable
Hawaii.
and
Yeah.
available for free in most cases to anybody and everybody here, take a priority, and it's an immediate shift of like, nope, school, grades, extracurricular activities. I mean, there's plenty.
But then
plenty.
we have that because we have
do.
like,
We but
Asian
that's,
parents
and that's what
who
keeps
want
us here.
more homework, and
Yeah.
we win the Little League World Series like half
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So there is the like you can train. We kind of have it, but
Yeah.
it just hits different, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It hits different, and I think it's because the immediate access to those experiences. You don't have to wait for Thanksgiving to go to Vail. You just go beach.
You're in Vail already.
You're or hike to top a pillbox or whatever. Go to Diamond Head. Like there's so many what outside transplant people will look at as once in a lifetime experiences you can do every Friday. Whenever you want, but you just have to stop and go do it. And the simplicity of prioritizing it is like you can grind all day and still also have vacation every weekend. You can experience slightly over the systematic extracurriculars. I think there's some great soccer players here. Some amazing volleyball. Football's coming. It's been a minute. But like, yes, you're right. All the extracurricular activities are here and they're available and can be done, and it can be done at a high competitive level. Kahuku goes to mainland every year. Kahuku got beat by Campbell last year.
Did
so
they?
there's
I mean, that's right.
there's some local parity coming. There's growth happening, and we see that from an outside lens that maybe people born and raised here don't recognize yet. And so we can see a 5-year and a 10-year here that we're excited about for the boys. And yes, there was trepidation, there was concern, there was hesitancy, there was a little bit of fear as we started here, but it was so quick. Like you guys have both said, there's a shell and it's kind of hard to crack in. We felt the shell initially a little bit, but it was like you just got to knock the right way.
Is it fair to
And that's
say you
it.
get to choose your experience? Because
Yeah.
you could choose to have a bad
Yes.
attitude about
Yes.
Hawaii. And
Yes.
You get that's your choice, right?
That might be a better way of saying what I was trying to say earlier about having a few families that live in the neighborhood that are more new here and are kind of butting heads up against the wall.
I heard a saying recently, and it was like, as like when you grow up, or like something like you've reached X, when you realize that life isn't coming at you, it's coming from you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
What
like
we do
that.
in excess, our children, or what we do in moderation, our children will do in excess.
Oh, that one makes me insecure.
But hey, I mean, fear's a great motivator. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have to, I think there's all kinds of ways to say that. For every finger pointed, there's 3 coming back.
I saw a reel.
Oh yeah, that girl.
And then she's like, One thing I want to point out too is what are you choosing? So are you moving here and then you choosing to post one video on Instagram of you being rude to an uncle and then you have a bad experience because the local's coming after you? Are you choosing to move here and what did that eyelash girl do? Why is everyone coming after her?
Oh, didn't she like?
Oh yeah, post on Instagram that Hawaiians are dumb and da da da.
Yeah.
You can have one bad experience, and I'm sure now you feel that all local people are racist, and so you could choose to create and have that experience because after all, life isn't coming at you; it's coming from you.
Yeah.
But you have chosen to work hard in real estate. Eventually, that resulted in you being part of this team. You go to church.
Yep.
So a lot of local people, I imagine, between church and sports families, a lot of your local people outside of us, Does Aiden count? Me and Mahe. Aiden. Even though Aiden born and
Everybody
raised, I my local card's strong. I get more debits and credits than Aiden. But a lot of your local experience is from church and sports families.
Mm-hmm.
So what are like a good place to find those experiences? Right?
Yeah, it's highly recommended if we're leaning into that. I try to find something extracurricular that you like and that you find like-minded people, and then the culture opens up, the shell opens up a little bit without having to crank it like an oyster, right? It's that's probably a good portion of why we were able to minimize any rough waters, because we very quickly got connected into church. Not where we're at now, where we've been for about a year and a half now, is home church for sure. But we got into church as quickly as we could. We got Connor into soccer. Now Dylan's playing soccer as well. Dylan's going to be going to school starting kindergarten this year, so we'll have both at said school. And that, meeting other parents, meeting soccer moms, just to put it bluntly, right? And then meeting friends at church that go to other schools that maybe live just outside of the area. I mean, the churches here in Hawaii are not like one big building with the steeple and the cross on top. Like we meet in a middle school cafeteria.
Well, you know why? So throw a little real estate dope in
Sure.
here. That's Kenji's term, real estate dope. Throw a little real estate dope in here. Commercial land is expensive. So for a church to acquire a piece of land and then build the castle on it is a lot less common. And so you got to be able to do business in different ways. So like when I started seeing a therapist after my dad passed, he shares the office with an attorney. It's attorney in day and then the therapist after hours. And that's how, right? Hawaii is not a cheap
Shared
place. Whereas
space.
if you're in St. Louis and the outskirts, the church just go buy on land and build on church.
Didn't we
Yep.
just have this conversation? I feel like we just had
I think
this
we
conversation.
probably had it multiple times.
Yeah. About just the accessibility to like, make a gym
Oh,
that's
the gym.
huge and like get
Yeah.
everything. It's just cheaper to do
So, you
that
know,
there.
like on the
Yep.
main, well, you were in big cities where it's expensive too.
Yep.
But you understand that in like in an Orlando or like a sprawling San Antonio, you might have this huge gym with hundreds of cardio machines and glass and a pool
and
and
it's like $20.
yeah, it's like $39 a month or $69 a month. You literally can't have that thing here,
Right.
because you would never get enough people to pay $350 a month to be able to sustain something like that, or
Right.
$500 a month.
Right.
So the math doesn't math here,
Correct.
but the math of priorities and culture and experience and what kind of life you can put out, not come at you, here does math. I have a couple of things that kind of bring us home, but Mahi, jump in at any time, is how is mom experiencing it?
Yeah.
Because mom moved here and she talked to me about bowling because she gonna start bowling league, so she gonna socialize with locals. And if a Hawai'i person were to have had bad habits or just their own style habits that were incongruent with Hawaii, probably the older, the more deeper instilled, right?
She's
So how's she doing?
She's doing well. She has not made a lot of friends, and you bring up sort of a sore but realistic and very factual point. She was born in Texas and grew up in Washington State and then moved down to Sacramento. And so her roots of who she is and things that are just not going to change at her age, I think have maybe put her in a little bit of a position of not growing a group of friends as at a pace or at a level that she would really want. But again, circling back to what has helped us and what she's now, I think, starting to blossom. She's been here just a little over a year.
Okay.
April is when she moved into her townhouse last year, so a year and a half-ish. Bowling, she's got friends that she meets outside of the bowling alley every once in a while for lunch or
great.
whatever. She wants to get into playing cards. She misses. That's one of her big like wish. Her
What
prayer.
card did she play? What did she play?
Anything, but like bunko,
Bunko?
spades.
I never heard of
She
bunko.
likes playing all of that.
Well, tell her if she wants to smoke, she can hit me up.
Okay. You teach her something and
We
she'll
play
teach you
cards a lot
bunko.
with
Okay.
my wife's family. Yeah.
Bowling has helped her out a lot. Church has helped her out a lot. But there is something to be said for you. Yeah. If what you're putting out is the thing that you're bringing from the mainland, and there's maybe a priority of I'm going to be me, and there's no willingness of flexibility to immerse. Immersion to me means flexibility of everything around you to fit together.
Well, she didn't move here with an aspiration of like, I want to go to this place and have it change me.
No, absolutely
here
not.
as,
Like,
like,
she moved here to be grandma.
Where I am, I'm
She
gonna
was
go be
caregiving
grandma.
for my grandpa, and when he passed, it's been almost 2 years. And once that chapter closed, she sold her home in Sacramento and moved out here, stayed with us for a little bit, and bought a little townhouse house of her own by choice. We have a guest room, but like part of the decision that we were making when she was deciding to come out here and be grandma was, do we need to sell or rent out and find a home with an ADU so that she could, and she was like, nope, that's too close for me.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you for saying that, because I was going to say the same thing, but I would have been a bad son for saying it.
No, that's healthy.
But
There's okay to be healthy,
there's a boundary set there that's really, really healthy. Like her townhouse is in Village Park. She bowls at Leeward Bowl.
Leeward Bowl.
We go
Auntie
church
Fran
in
used to
Kapolei.
bowl.
So she's doing good.
Doing good.
Well,
she would
it's
like
not
to have more
perfect.
friends. She can't find a card night group or a trivia night group. There's little social things that she misses from home. She's gotten the foundation set.
Yeah.
Bowling, church, us. Pick the order.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Probably bowling first. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, she's a year and a half in, and if we were having this conversation intentionally a year and a half ago, I probably would be saying the same thing. Like, yeah, work's getting started, things are moving, we're doing pretty good, but I'd like to be more involved in this or that. 4 years in, I don't have enough time to get everything in. It's like when I leave here today, I've got a couple of things I have to do, and then we have to get the kids to soccer practice, and then we have small group tonight, and like, we're involved at a level that's like run around all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I love that. There's no complaint in that. She's not there yet, but she'll get there.
Yeah. My last question, and Mahi, jump in anytime, but is what kind of people would have problems when they come here? You don't. But who would?
I think it's the perspective that we had prior to coming and being around different people with different attitudes, different paces of life. I think Chicago is sort of a la New York, super fast paced, minimal talk story, like a quick hello on the street. How you been? Cool, great, catch you next time, done. Not like stop, buy a root beer and have a conversation, talk story. New Orleans is that. Slow down, take care of, shirt off your back kind of Southern hospitality that we talked about. LA.
But are you saying who would have the problem?
Who would have the problem? I think that,
'Cause a lot of New Yorkers-
somebody transplanting from a major city that's all they've ever known is going to have a really hard time slowing down. The people that I've come in contact with one-to-one in the experiences that I've had working in real estate, the trouble is from those that have seen nothing and know nothing else other than where they grew up and need more time and don't have a broader perspective.
Is it fair to say closed, not open people?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to be nice about it, but that's the direct way, is to say just I am who I am, and I'm this is where I come from. I don't really care otherwise. I'm closed off and not willing to
Closed, not
change.
open.
Yeah.
Because, when I had problems in California, I remember my chief, he was like, I was complaining about everyone's assholes when they drive. These freaking people, I got them in, they don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he had spent time in Hawaii, right? And he's like, I got these people in, they don't say nothing. We merging, and they probably go shoulder lane and then come and I would just be boiling.
Because your expectation is different and your experience is like,
And then
what the hell
so
is
he
this?
was like, so you want them to all change to be like you? And the Bay Area has like 9 million people or something, you know? And I was like, yeah, they should, you know? It was not their duty to change to me. It was my duty to learn how to roll with the punches.
Yeah. You can be authentic. Be yourself, you know, be whatever version of yourself you are. Like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But be open to letting Hawaii impact you. Be open to letting Hawaii be amazing and letting the experience affect you in a way, instead of, you know, worrying about how come you don't have the things that you have where you came from. Just be open to like letting Hawaii in its current state, what it is, and letting the history of it and the people of it, letting it in and letting it become a part of your experience, of your greater experience and time on this earth. Don't come here close off, because yes, it is different. Yes, it can be hard to understand. Yes, it is nuanced. Yes, there are a lot of things that, you know, like, oh, you never turn your blinker on, all of a sudden somebody like scrap with you. Like, there's some stupid shit.
Because what if you don't change? You're like, don't let it change you. Don't even. I mean, I would say let Hawaii change you in the right ways. However, even if you're not going, be quiet and just be appreciative of it. Yeah. I'm not gonna go to Japan and be, you know, even if I'm sure when I go to Japan, which I'm planning this trip, you guys keep hearing me talk about.
Oh my God, just go already.
I know. I'm sure that I'm going to come back and tell Kenji, bro, why did they do this?
Oh, 100%.
Why did they do that? But while I'm there, I just appreciate it, observe it, and know that I have my place, you know?
Yeah.
Which is on the tourist bus.
Correct. Yeah.
My takeaway is always going to be perspective. You only really need to be open to two things. One, you're not from here, and neither are most of the people, if you really dig into it, directly from here. There are some, but there's not a whole lot left of actual native Hawaiian. There's a ton of local,
like pure 100% or high blood quantum native Hawaiians.
Setting all that aside, not getting into the quantum and the data points, but just like be a good steward. That's all that really is required. If there's one small change to ask, is just come and be a good steward.
So what you're saying is, like, even the Portuguese person here is not native Hawaiian.
Right.
But they're accepted, and then the Portuguese person might not look too much different than you.
Right.
But they're not. They're accepted, and they have potentially a better experience, not because of their brownness or their Hawaiianness, but more about the respect
and humility, and just being a good steward.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Respect and humility.
Yeah.
I feel like they get you far in most places and a lot of places, but in Hawaii, it really does. It really comes down to respect and humility.
Yeah. I said it in the other video, is like, we're not anti-freedoms and liberties, but it's just not the first thing that we talk about. Texas, Republic of. They don't say it's the Republic of Texas. They'll remind you of that, right?
Yeah.
Freedom, gun racks, all that's well and fine. But it's just, if you have to list your core values, like even you at home, you have to list your core values. What's most important to you? Maybe you put family. It's not that water isn't also important. You know, it's not that income.
Oxygen. You know.
It's not that income isn't also important. It's just family's number one. So for Hawaii as a community, number one is aloha, which is respect and humility and these things, right? And so that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing your experience, bro.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks for shedding some more light. I feel like I learned as much as I may have imparted. It's keiki and kupuna.
And that's what I love about. Don't call me kupuna, first of all. I'm not there yet. I'm not kupuna status yet.
Yeah. I think
anti a little bit, but
a big part of why.
No, you're not keiki and I kupuna. That's not what you're saying. Huh?
Oh, I'm keiki and you're kupuna. Oh, baby, I'll allow that.
We're all at that age where we have to take care of both.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but that would be my last comment, is probably if I was to have to just put one last period and not leave it at a comma, would be major reason for staying here is because keiki really get taken care of and kupuna really get taken care of. I would not have invited my mom with her wanting to come to be grandma. Like if I didn't think that it would be a good place and time for her at her age to come, we would have figured out some other plans. And there's just nothing that separates. Like if you say family, I say it's for sure way more of a priority for Keiki and Kupuna to be taken care of here than anywhere else I've ever lived.
Love it. You know, whenever somebody talking pidgin in our group chat, who's the first person? It's probably Kenny.
Kenny, for sure.
And then I want Kenji to just close it. Like the cliff is, show Kenny's water bottle, bro. This guy.
Oh, where's
this
your
guy-
water bottle? He get the most local water bottle I ever seen.
First time we saw him, I was like, is this
Go get it.
Mahe's water bottle?
And you're like, nah, she wouldn't pull that off. Like,
Yeah.
bro, the thing is local AF.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you at a beach now.
Yeah, look Kenny's water bottle.
Look at that. Look,
the
hammer.
hog.
And I don't know, see if we can get it sponsored. No.
Kenji's water bottle looked like Mahe's arm.
Kenny,
Kenny.
not Kenji.
Sorry, Kenny.
Yeah.
I was too focused on the punch.